This is a presentation using Pear Deck. What I'm going to do is the students will log in to peardeck.com/join. They'll enter in this code and it'll tell me at the bottom how many students have joined. You can see that right here. Once I have all the students joined, I'm going to go ahead and start presenting. This is going to be on writing expressions and equations. I will start by having the students write down the definitions. Part of it is cut off, but you can see how I've written it in a list form. I give them some other definitions. What's the difference between an expression and an equation? Then they're going to place the dot on the coefficient. On the student screen, they are actually able to see the example, which will be shown in a different video. Then they will answer using a numerical response. How many coefficients are there in this expression? Then I will place the dot on the constant. These are all interactive pieces that the students respond. Once the students have responded, you'll see it down here. So for instance, I'm doing it on a different machine, and I can see that one response has been done. If I continue going, I gave them an example, what we're going to be talking about today. And then I tell them to write all the words that they know for each operation in the chart below. They actually see the chart, and what I can do is give them approximately 10-15 minutes, however many I want, and then after that time frame I can lock the students' responses so they can no longer use it. When they do this, I can also see what they're doing by showing their responses. So here I'm going to show students responses, and they can see that there's the chart and there's something that somebody has responded. I can keep going. This is a slide for words that they can add to. And then I show a video. The video will also be shown in another piece as it does not record through here, but this is only presented through the projector field. So I'll be projecting this on the board. Once I'm done, I can go ahead and ask a quick question. So this is talking about a video that I created using Educreations, and I'm able to go through all of it. I can pause the video at any time. I can come in here, ask a quick question. I could say, okay, do you understand this? Ask them to agree or disagree. They place the answer there. Again, I can show student responses, and I can see how many dots are over here. As I keep going through, I can have them do an example where they can actually write it up. So they can circle, box, and underline information. As they're doing it, I can also show their student responses. So let me go ahead and get a student response going here. And I can see how they're starting to mark things up. I can show the student's response. This is what they understand. This is what they don't understand. As I keep going, again, I can do more examples. What do they see? I can have them write equations to balance the scale, so they'll have to show a variable for the number of gears, a variable for the pumpkins, so on and so forth, and there's 3 different examples, setting it equal to whatever the weight is at the bottom of the scale. This is the total of my presentation. Again, when I'm done, I will go ahead and end the session, or I can ask another quick question. There's several options that I can use: agree, disagree, multiple choice, so on and so forth. And then I can end the session. I can save it as whatever it is that I want so that I can go back and look at it later. For now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to end the session. Okay, and here's the students. So I put in the code, and once the code is entered, the students will see you're in, your teacher will begin shortly. So I'm going to come over here, and as I present, they see almost the exact same thing. Some of the differences are such that here, where it said place the red dot, the students actually get to see the red dot, and they get to move it. So if they want to put it on the coefficient, they can put it here. If they want to put it on the constant, they'll put it there. So you can see how the students are able to move the red dot around. Again, as I continue to go on, the number of coefficients. When it's asking for the number of coefficients, as you can see, the picture is not there for them. They're going to be looking up at the whiteboard or in the projector, and here they put a numerical answer. So let's say there's 3 coefficients. They'll click Post, and if they don't like their answer, they can always go back and change it by clicking on a new answer. As I continue going on, another red dot one on the constant. It looked just like the previous one. Then here it says write all the words you know for each operation in the chart. This is what the students see. They actually have the chart. And what they're going to do is they're going to click on the A tab. That A tab gives them the opportunity to type. So I can put in times. Then what they do is they type it down here at the bottom. They're going to click where it goes. It goes under multiply. They can come under and they can do minus. Minus means to subtract. And they can continue to fill in as many times as they want. They also have other features down here, and I will show you what those do. All right, so moving on. Again, they're seeing all the same things. They do not get to see this portion. Here, it'll say this video will play on the classroom projector. So again, they will have to look up at the board. This allows them to focus. I'll be able to make sure that they're paying attention and they're not able to play on the computers at this time. All right, after I go through, here, they're able to mark things up. So I was showing you before, they're going to click on this tab right here. They do have an option to change colors. So let's say they wanted to go with green. And then they click the thing again, and then what they do is they hold the button down like as if they were going to click on something. So it's the left click button, and they can underline things, and they can say, okay, that means to equals. Whoops, my equals is not very good. It does do better on iPads. Again, less than would be an important word. They can hit minus here. They can change the color so that they see where they're marking up variables. For instance, the variable would be Leah's spending, so they can circle Leah and put an L there for Leah, so on and so forth. Okay, once they're done there, I can continue to move on. Again, here's another challenge question where they get to draw. So they can come over here and say, okay, there is 1 pumpkin. So they might write 1 P for pumpkin. And all I'm doing is holding down the left click button. And they're going to learn that the word and means to add. So they're going to put add. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 gears. So they can write 4. And then maybe a G for gears. And we know that that weight equals 38. And they will do this for each problem. So there are 3 problems here. By the time the students are done, there would be 3 equations written. All right. Let's say I ask them a quick question. So remember we asked about like the draggables. So I asked a draggable, maybe I say, do you feel comfortable with written expressions? They can come over here and do a thumbs up or thumbs down. And there's all sorts of different questions that they can do in here. All right. Again, we're finally done. Another option that I can do is switch the view. So I can open up the dashboard here. I can click on my student, whatever student I'm working on, and I can see how they're doing. This will also save, as we talked about before. So I can go in here and say, okay, how did this student do? And I can see exactly what that student did. And it'll list all the students over here. I can click on them and show their answers up on my screen. So this has a lot of different features. It allows the students to participate in their own learning. And when it is all done, so when I go and end the session, I can save here, or my students will see that the session has ended for them.